All right, college athletes in Illinois just one step away from being able to hire agents and sign endorsement deals as a bill heads to the governor's desk. The move has other states scrambling to pass similar proposals to stay competitive. Here to weigh in, former NFL player Chris Valletta and parenting expert Erica Katz. Good to see you both this morning. Thanks for being here.
Great to be here.
Of course. Okay, so Chris, I want to start with you. I know that you're in favor of college athletes being paid for their image, name, and likeness, but you have a big but. Tell me what that is.
Well, listen, I do. I have a caveat. I think that but is the pendulum has swung too far in the wrong direction. It is time for athletes to be able to make money off their name, image, and likeness. College sports is a $15 billion industry, and they're basically getting nothing. However, my concern is shared with the idea that the pendulum is going to swing in the entirely opposite direction and the collateral damage that could come with that. And I share that concern with a lot of congressional leaders. The devil is in the details. There's far more questions than answers in this scenario. And my concern is we're kind of removing the college experience and it becomes basically professional sports at this point. I think there are some ways in which the money could be distributed that both incentivize the college education experience and prepares these athletes for not only sports, but life beyond the game, which is where we actually need them the most. Athletes are tremendous leaders.
Yeah, that's a good point, Erica. I'll go to you. Do you think that what Chris had to say about, college sports then essentially becoming another version of professional sports, should it be the case?
Well, it's really important that we realize how much parents and these athletes have put into their sports. And so when they're going to go on to maybe grad school, it would be great to have this money for them to pay for grad school or start a business. And also remember, like Chris said, this is a billion-dollar industry, so it's time for these athletes to share in the profits.
Chris, I want to go back to you because you said that there are different ideas that you have that, perhaps the money could be better utilized. Can you give a few examples of how, perhaps maybe that money is not available to these athletes until they graduate or until later in life, something that will benefit them?
Listen, I live the life of a college athlete. It's an 80-hour-a-week work week. It's grueling on all levels. However, athletes, like every other student, have access to Pell Grants and other financial aid. The NCAA also allows you to have a job. I had 2 jobs while I played football at Texas A&M University, and it was fantastic. My parents didn't want to give me any extra spending money. But that being said, I think there are ways we can make this work. And I wasn't on the floor of the Illinois legislature. But what if the money that was being paid to these athletes was put in escrow, an interest-bearing account, and upon graduation, you get a check? What if these universities that are making billions of dollars, what if they matched the money that was provided to these athletes when an athlete crosses a stage and gets their diploma? Remember, we have to prepare the next generation of leaders. If student athletes are really focused more on the endorsements and a paycheck, we may be ignoring the preparation that's needed to put these people not only in sports, but well beyond sports, in business and in life. And we got to make sure that these athletes become impactful leaders beyond the game.
Yeah, you make a lot of really good points, and I know you've lived the life, so I know you speak from experience. Chris, Erica, I want to give the final word to you.
Well, I think we also have to realize a lot of these athletes get injured and they have lifelong injuries. So they really need to be able to pay for that going forward. I don't think we should control how they get their money. I think that's just a little too much control. They should be able to go get agents and be able to receive endorsements and do what they want with the money. After all, they are adults and they should be able to spend their money the way they want.
Okay, you all have great points. Thank you for joining in the conversation this morning. And you both have books. I feel very left out here. So make sure you pick up a copy of each of their books. Chris's book, Team Works, and Erica's book is Coach Parenting. Chris Valletta, Erica Katz, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Jillian.
Have a good day. Todd.